This is an excerpt from Mist. Nell's 16-year-old sister is having a party in the woods. Nell's not so keen. Her mysterious friend Evan has warned her not to go. Before the echoes of the church bell had died away, the whole mob were heading for the woods. Nell let them go and then trailed after them. The alley leading to the woods was lit by 3 street lamps that cast an edgy yellow glow over everything. She walked into the pool cast by the first one. It went out. She actually heard the little tink as the bulb died. She stopped dead. She turned round on her heel, goosebumps breaking out all over. The lights on the road behind her were still on. So were the lights of Rowan House and Beach House, the tall blocks of flats across the road. It wasn't a power cut. Her heart began to thump, but she told herself not to be so stupid. Coincidence, that's all. She stepped quickly out of the shadow and hurried after the last of Gwen's friends as they disappeared over the locked gate at the bottom of the alley to the woods. Think. As she stepped into the second puddle of light, that one went out too. This time she didn't stop. She carried on walking rapidly. There was one last light at the end of the alley where the woods began. This wouldn't go out. That would be stupid and ridiculous. Tink. The third bulb had popped. Darkness folded over her like velvet. She stopped. She turned around, her heart hammering. And there, right in front of her, hanging in the air, was the word no. It took her a moment to realise that the letters weren't actually written on the sky, but were the lit windows of the 2 blocks of flats. The rest of the lights had gone out. There was even an exclamation point. 4 lit windows down, a space, and then another window. A sudden wind blew her hair back. It was scented with pine leaves. Evan was close by. She scanned the area. At first she could see nothing. Then the fitful moon came out from behind the clouds, and there he was, leaning against the wall of 1 block. Somehow she could tell he was watching her. Was this his warning? But how could it be? How could he organise the lights to go out? She glanced away, confused. When she looked back, he'd gone. There was nowhere for him to hide. No bushes, no doorways. He'd either disappeared into thin air or he'd walked through a wall. Or I'm going crazy, she added. A second later, all the lights in Rowan and Beach House went out, and with them went the warning, as though it had never existed. And then, like some dreadful plague, the darkness began to spread. The lights in the co-op went out, and those on the main road, one after another like dominoes going down. Then, as though someone had thrown a switch, the tower blocks in the town centre disappeared. And a moment later, the big square block of the police station, where Jackie and her father worked. Nell couldn't move. She watched it all in horror. In a few moments, it was as though the town had gone and all that was left of the world was darkness. A torch beam suddenly pinned her to the wall in a shining white circle. She panicked and screamed. "Nell," said a voice. She blinked towards its source, shading her eyes. "Gwen says, please get a move on," said Jake. Well, not exactly those words. You know Gwen, potty-mouthed church. She gave a sigh of relief and hurried towards him. But as she followed him from the blacked-out town into the dark woods, something close by began to howl.